Welcome back, everybody, Automotive Inc. Today we're going to be working on a 2025 Chevy Silverado HD. We're going to be enhancing the suspension. Before we get started, please smash the subscribe button. Helps the small channel out. It's down there in the corner somewhere, so you can smash it. At the end of the video, you can give me a thumbs up and a notification bell so you know I'm posting new content. And again, you guys can run over there and check out. There is tons of installs on lots of different vehicles, and specifically on what we're going to be putting on today. Now, these trucks, whether you're a half-ton guy or gal, or you have an HD truck, a suspension enhancement system is truly the way to go. It's inexpensive. A novice can install it in just about a half hour, so you don't need a lot of tools. And what you're going to get out of a system like this for under a couple $100 typically is less sag, if you will. Vehicles will sag, especially the more weight you put in them. And what this gives you is a progressive rebound or pushback on it. So the stock bump stops, when you take them off, you'll see how small they are compared to these. And it's just night and day difference putting these on there, because then you don't have to have a sway bar necessarily, and they don't affect ride when you're empty versus an airbag. If you put airbags on there, you're gonna have to let the air out and in, or buy the compressor so you can let the air out and in. And if you don't get the compressor, you'll be stopping somewhere to find air when you do get loaded. So you drive somewhere, park your trailer, and you go driving for the week, you're gonna want to let air out, then you got to remember to put air back in. Otherwise, the system's basically useless. These are set it and forget it. You snap them in, they're done. Each manufacturer has a different way of mounting them. Sometimes it's a couple bolts on each side, or sorry, nuts that you'll take off and slap them on, the Super Duties like that. Chevy uses a different type of system where they snap in to where the bump stops are, and I'm telling you, these are well worth your money when it comes to trailering for sway control, ride control, and everything. Even if you aren't maxing out your truck, they will substantially help. Now, I am not sponsored by Timbren, by Sumo, by anybody else, but I do personally like Timbren, and that's what I've been running on my trucks for over 2 decades. And I've had airbags before, and I'm no longer going to ever put those on there. They're tedious, they're high maintenance, and they are susceptible to failing. So let's get started. So this is a Timbren for a 2020 to 2025 basically. So if you're looking, again, no worries here. There's a little bit of rust from when we took it off the other truck just from traveling so much, so we'll clean up that groove. It'll help sliding it in. It's going to come in the box with this bolt, a nylon threaded nut, 2 washers for each Timbren. You're going to put a washer on the bolt, shove it through the hole, and then you're going to put the other washer on that bolt and the nylon threaded nut. You'll only need a 17mm socket for both sides. And basically all you're going to do, guys, is you're going to tighten this bad boy down until it is super tight. That's it. That's it for the Chevy version. The Ford version has a plate with 2 holes on it, so it can go to the bolts that are in the frame, and you'll assemble the actual Timbren the exact same way. You'll bolt it to that plate. I'm going to link videos for doing it on the Ford. I'm going to link videos for doing it on the 24. This is obviously a 2025. It's going to be the exact same procedure. I also have this for Ram. Now, people have asked me in my past, well, what do you think about Sumo? Different construction. It's made out of a foam material, same concept. I personally just don't like that brand. I've ran them a few times, and I just feel like this is stronger and has better pushback, if you will. So I prefer this one. So I'm going to go ahead and clean these both up, and then we're going to get underneath the truck and show you how to pop out the stock stump pops. So now that we're under the truck, I'm going to show you what you're going to take off and where this is going in its place. So you can see right here, this yellow looking cone thing, that is your factory bump stop. I think I said stump pops a second ago. Pretty slick. Don't think I could say it too many times. And you can see that we have probably about 5 inches here. And now, again, those Timbrens look a lot bigger, but basically what that does, that kind of goes down the hole. The other one has the same shape of cone on the end of it, so it'll still recess down in there. So really all you got to have to do to pull these off, guys, is get a flat blade screwdriver. Now, I know there's a lot of way to skin a cat, they say, so some people said that they use a different method, but you're just going to pry around these pry points, and then once it kind of pops loose, it'll come down. So that's kind of what it looks like after you pry a couple different areas off, and then you can just kind of work it back and forth, see it kind of pop back up in there, because I have both hands on it. So we'll just pry it down, and you can keep working around this. If you want to move your creeper, you can go around the back of it and do it, or you can just stay right here and keep working this edge. These will just pop out. There's no nut or bolt holding these things in. So maybe if I could just focus here. So boop, and she's out. Now save those, because if you end up trading your truck, you'll want to keep your Timbrens. You can see that they use some type of grease here to help ease that in, because all it does is have these little like pressure grabbers here, these little dimples in the metal that hold it on there. But that's all you need to do it. So what I like to do for install, and some people say they like to jack the truck up and use the axle to smush it in, I just get some Dawn dish soap and lube around the edge of it and snap it in, and I've never had a problem with it. So I'm going to prep that. So you can see right here, just kind of lubed up the area. Now we got it lubed up. All I did was snap it in. I didn't need any assistance. I was able to just slide right in. Of course, they have a little bit of that extra grease on there, so that helped. Get it locked up in there. You'll feel that it's tight, but don't worry. The first time you put some weight in here, it'll push it up the rest of the way if there is any room. But you'll make sure that that upper lip right up there is in there and it's solid and it's not going to move. You're not going to be able to twist it around in there because those grippers grab it right away. So that's all it takes. Now let's look at the stock one over the factory. I meant factory over the Timbren. So right here you can see substantially size in circumference. This one's made out of a foamy material, and it's odd this one's already this yellow on such a new truck, but it may be degrading, or maybe they've coated those with something. And then look at the overall size. Now you guys did see that there's a gap in there, so your suspension is not going to travel 2 inches going down the highway like that unless you have some load in it, where this is going to detrimentally affect it. Unless you get the severe service ones, which are even longer, which will actually touch the bump stop when it's unloaded. You don't want those unless you're somebody that always has something in your bed. Then you would probably want these in there, because they're already giving. If you're somebody that has like an overhead camper, a welder, a rancher always has something hooked up, hot shot or something, then you might want the severe service ones, because you're always going to be loaded, and that's okay. But just for the normal RVer and normal haul stuff around from Home Depot, it's going to be heavy in your bed, where this will help. I would go with the standard version of the Timbren. So at the end of the day, it's the same procedure on the other side. You're going to need a 17 millimeter to put the Timbren together, 2 sockets, that's it, a screwdriver, and to pop those out, and maybe 30 minutes of your time, guys. So it's well worth it to give this a shot over putting bags in your truck. And I'm just going to say that from years of trucking, years of towing, I will never install airbags again on any of my vehicles. Just because the nuisance of the caveats, the compressors, and the shortage, and the air leaks and stuff like that. So everything will be linked down below. Install videos for Ford, Ram, and Chevy will be down below. Also for a 24 Chevy. This is the same as it's a GMC or a 25, it doesn't matter. And I will put links down there for all of those products, whether you want to go with the cheap version or the more expensive version. And I will put in a couple airbag systems that I've used in the past that I think are decent and affordable. But for the average novice tool bender, wrencher in the garage, this is your ticket. As always, guys, I appreciate you guys being here. I'm going to catch you on the next one.